Hello, all, and welcome back to another episode of Race for Safe, where we run from toxic into safety. My name is Brittany Owens, and I am your podcast host of this podcast, Race for Safe. Thank you all for joining me here again. And I just want to take a moment before we jump into today's episode. I want to take a moment to pause and continue and connect with you. Life moves fast, and sometimes it feels like we're running on autopilot, checking boxes, handling responsibilities, and constantly trying to meet expectations both from others and ourselves. Take a deep breath with me. Inhale, exhale, and just let that tension go, even for a minute. You don't have to have everything figured out. You don't have to perform or impress. Just be here in this moment. This space is about creating a rhythm of reflection. It's about allowing yourself to feel without judgment, noticing the weight you've been carrying, and giving yourself permission to release it, even just for now. Sometimes we get so focused on the next thing, the next season, the next goal, that checking in with ourselves and sitting with God without an agenda. Because clarity, peace, and wisdom don't come from rushing, they come from stillness, honesty, and openness. And one phrase I want to steal from one of my sisters at my church, she says you have to be hot, honest, open, and transparent. So as we move deeper into this year, God has been highlighting something important. Healing is not instant, and alignment is not automatic. Just because you say yes to God does not mean everything immediately falls into place. Doesn't mean that you won't receive resistance and opposition. There are layers that God peels back, patterns He exposes, and mindsets He gently but firmly challenges. And none of that means that you're failing. It means you're growing. Many of us are in a season where God isn't adding more. He's refining what's already there. God's asking us to slow down, to be honest, and to stop rushing the process just so that we could feel better. We don't operate in feelings, we operate by spirit and in truth, not feelings and emotions. So get out of your feelings and your emotions and get into the word so that you can operate with wisdom, spirit, and truth. Because rush healing creates fragile freedom, but slow surrendering heals. Surrendering healing creates stability. Sometimes people feel resistance, distractions, or emotional heaviness and think something is wrong, but often it confirms that they're pressing into something that matters, into purpose. Growth comes with resistance, but resistance doesn't mean retreat, it means remain. Just remain, just abide. So before we dive into today's conversation, I want you to settle in, quiet your mind, and let yourself be present. You don't have to have all the answers. You don't have to be fully healed. You just have to be willing to reflect, willing to listen, and willing to let God meet you right where you are. Take a deep breath, let your guard down, and when you're ready, we'll step into today's episode today together. Episode 3. Our title today is Closing Doors Without Guilt, Protecting Your Peace. In our previous episodes, we have talked about recognizing toxic patterns, understanding the difference between what's familiar and what's safe, and starting to remove what no longer serves us any peace. No purpose, no place, no peace. Tonight, we're moving forward and we're talking about something that trips a lot of us up: closing doors without guilt, and why protecting your peace is not only necessary, it's loving. Loving you, choosing you, self love, being present for you. This episode is called Closing Doors Without Guilt, Protecting Your Peace. Many of us hesitate to close doors because we fear we'll hurt someone, that we'll disappoint someone, or appear selfish. We confuse love and loyalty with obligation and responsibility. And sometimes staying in the familiar feels easier than navigating the discomfort of change. But the truth is, you cannot pour from an empty cup, and you cannot protect your peace if you refuse to set boundaries. Our closed doors was harmful. In our last episode, we talked about boundaries for protection. That was our very first episode. Don't feel guilty for establishing boundaries. Boundaries are for your protection. Tonight, I want to show you how to close doors with grace, without guilt, and in alignment with your safety and your purpose. Closing doors isn't about cutting people off with anger or bitterness. It's about creating space for healing, clarity, and alignment. Here are a few truths to keep in mind. Number one, boundaries are not punishment. When you set a boundary or close a door, you are not rejecting someone, you are protecting yourself. That's like you're telling a person you don't like to be hit, and they just keep on hitting you, and you allow them to do it, or you tell them, hey, I don't like that, but they keep doing it. Did you set a boundary, or did you compromise because you wanted to make them happy? Number two, closing doors protect your energy. Every time you tolerate disrespect, drama, or negativity, it drains you. It drains your peace and joy. The more you protect yourself, the more energy you have for things that actually uplift and nurture you. Number three, guilt is normal, but not yours to carry. Guilt is normal, but it is not yours to carry. Often we feel guilty because we were taught that love equals sacrifice. If you love me, you will do this for me. Yeah, okay. Our loyalty equals silence. Oh, why should I express my feelings? I might hurt their feelings. I might as well not say anything at all. And then you keep that bottled up on the inside, which is not good. But if a relationship or a situation constantly harms you, your choice to step back is an act of love for yourself and for everyone involved. You have to love yourself and be healed and whole in order to show up for a person in your life the way that they need for you to be present. You can't be fully present in any relationship, whether it's a friendship, a family ship, a relationship, a workship, partnership. It doesn't matter. You cannot show up whole or for someone in the capacity that they need if you're not whole. How many times you're overwhelmed, overstimulated, worry about home, and you're showing up on a job or just got bad news or whatever the case may be, and you let that control your emotions, you let that affect your performance on your job because you failed to set boundaries. You failed to let guilt trap you. So you have to love yourself, heal your wounds, allow God to bend those broken pieces so that you can be whole and be a good friend, a good mother, daughter, cousin, uncle, sister, whatever it is, that you can be the best version of yourself to any relationship that you're in. Some real life examples of closing the doors would be not answering every call or text from someone who drains you emotionally. Why keep answering the phone for the person who wants to gossip? Why keep answering the phone for the person who always needs to borrow $20? Like, even if I do have it, it's mine. I worked for it, I earned it. And you call every week, the same day at the same time, asking the same thing. I, instead of enabling you, can teach you or show you how to break the cycle or teach you or show you what I did so that you can learn from it and that you won't need to call me every week asking for something from me, always taking from me. It's not good to gossip. It's not good to sit and talk about foolishness. That serves no purpose. It doesn't produce anything. Nothing is growing. Nothing is elevated. Nothing is flourishing because it's negativity, and negativity cannot prosper. Another example would be leaving a conversation that constantly triggers you. Maybe you've been abused sexually and someone keeps wanting to talk about rape or something. It don't necessarily have anything to do with them per se, but just speaking in general. And you've asked a person to change the topic because that triggers you. That's an unhealed wound in you, and they continue to speak on that. No, set the boundary. Leave. You don't have to stay and converse if that constantly triggers you. The next one would be saying no to events, favors, or commitment that compromise your peace. Just because you're off on Saturday doesn't mean that you want to run errands or go out or do whatever it is. Sometimes I just want to stay in, or sometimes I want to love on myself. Maybe I want to treat myself. Maybe I want to take myself out. Why do I feel that I'm obligated to show up for you when I haven't showed up for myself? I work Monday through Friday. So Saturday, maybe this Saturday I want to just lay in bed. Maybe this Saturday I want to go and plant some flowers in the garden. Not being occupied with running errands and going on trips or being present for everyone but myself. And the last example I have is stepping away from friendships or relationships that keep you stuck. This is something that I would want to spend a little time on because just because they was your childhood friend does not mean that they're your forever friend. You grow and it's okay. No one has did anything to each other, but you just moving in different directions. Learn to be okay with allowing that childhood friend, that best friend to be an associate. I wish you well. May God bless you and your ministry. In the words of my husband, he loves it. It's just Let it go. Why continue to hold on to a friendship or a relationship that has no purpose? If you always showing up for your friend, but your friend never shows up for you, you're always there for a mate, but your mate never make you a priority. I mean, what do you get out of it? It's just draining you, and then when you're done with it, all you're gonna do is pick up the phone and call somebody else and complain and let them know how you're feeling inside, and not directly tell that person who made you feel that way that they triggered you, that you feel used by them, that you feel abused by them. It's okay to be alone. You don't have to stay in a friendship, relationship, family ship, partnership, business ship that you don't want to be in, that serves you no purpose. You cannot pour out until you're empty and not receive anything back. If you're always the one pouring out, always the one who's giving, and always the one who's showing up, and no one's showing up and you're not getting the same in return, what value does that relationship add to your life? If it is not adding, it's subtracting, and we don't want to go backwards. We don't want to stay in negative. We don't want to stay in bad habits and toxic patterns. Like, no, it's okay to be your own friend. It's okay to talk to God and be a friend of God, because I am a friend of God. You feel me? Like, I'm okay with being in my own skin. And then closing doors does not make you unloving. It makes you intentionally loving yourself. If you love yourself well, I know that you can love me. So, in this episode of Closing Unhappy Healthy Doors, we are on the letter C. In real life, think about one door in your life that needs closing, not in anger, not in shame, but in purpose and alignment. Ask yourself, what am I tolerating that keeps me stuck? What boundary would protect my peace without harming my integrity? How can I communicate this closure clearly, kindly, and firmly without opening the door again? And remember, closing doors can be internal at first. Deciding to stop engaging mentally, emotionally, or spiritually with what harms you, external closure will follow naturally when the time is right. That's all that I have for you on tonight. I want you to take this week to journal and reflect. And here are some questions that you can maybe use or maybe think of your own. But one question would be, have you struggled to say no even when you knew it was best? What doors in your life are still open that keep you stuck? And how does guilt show up when you try to protect your peace? Feel free to share your experiences down in the comment section. Ask questions or just listen. But remember, this is a safe space. Thank you for tuning in to this episode. Once again, I'm your host, Brittany Owens, and I'll see you next time.